Hello, men. Hello, Mgtows. Go your own way. Go your own way. Your some sins are forgiven. Let me see my sound check. There we go. Everything seems to be on track and ready to go. Okay. Hello, the men that are in. Hello, Mgtow. I know I was 1 minute late. I was 1 minute late. I was reading something. I was reading, no, actually, I was doing a research product. I was reading something and I was doing a research project. And there was an awful tag that showed up at Mgtow as the N word. The N word showed up. So I went down and I searched every video that uses tags. And I could do that. I have a thing that does that for me, and it shows me the tags that everybody uses. And I went through every video, and I wanted to do this to see who it was that used the N-word in their tags. Not a single Mgtow used the N-word in their tags, so somehow the N-word got related to Mgtow in the tags, and I still have to find it out. Been drinking beer and exploring new Mgtow channels today. Good, great. That's always a good thing to do, and got some time. You can just kind of surf the Mgtowish beer and have a few beers and enjoy life like a man should. Hello, Joe Buddy. Hello, everybody that may come in or may not. I'll get to your name if you come in and mention you. Today's topic is something that I kind of drew up when I was reading articles. I was kind of going through the news today, and it kicked on the main. Blah 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 blah. I have to do my speech patterns before I come in, or else like A, B, S, like a radio producer. I don't know how they do that. But I was looking at a story today, and I'll put it up and we'll show it right away. And we're gonna get infinity screen for a second. So let me pop that up there. Well, that's not infinity screen. That's weird. I almost thought that I was going to get infinity screen there like immediately, but we can look at this. We can look at this guy right here. He's a good-looking real estate agent. His name's Constantine George Theo Harris. He went missing. He went missing from Florida. He was out on a surfboard. And he may have drowned, he may have exited the country, he may have done a lot of things, but the thing that they attach him to is he owed $549,000. Mystery grows as a man who owes $500K in child support disappears on a paddle boat. I won't read the whole article. I'll just leave his face up there. If you see this guy, give him a couple bucks and try to protect him in the Mgtowish spirit. If we can offer him somewhere to live or somewhere to hide to get away from the slave recovery, people. And who are the slave recovery people? The slave recovery people are the news, the media, the judges, the lawyers, anybody in that does articles like this are the slave recovery people. And we should start narking down their names and put him in a little book so we know who the slave recovery people is when this thing breaks off. So take a look at that. He's a good-looking guy. He's 52 years old. Still has all of his teeth, like me. And probably got pretty good genetics and everything, but he owes $549,000 and child support, and they're sending the slave recovery people in back to find him. They want to bring him back. They want to make him work. They want to make him a slave. They're going to put him in debtor's prison. Yes, that's what they're saying. They want their slave back, and they will try to accomplish that. If he's not dead, they will get their slave back, and that's what they're saying here through this whole article. They're mad because their slave left, and no more money's coming in. He was probably a wealthy land developer and real estate agent, and now nothing's coming in, and they're pissed. Yeah, they want to put him in jail. And the things I would like to do to those slave recovery people, like in the book, Uncle Tom's Cavern, it tells about Liza, and her husband and taking the children over the Ohio River. And there was a slave recovery agent, and they shot him. And that's what happens to slave recovery agents, because we fought a war over this. It's called no slavery. Nobody gets a slave. We fought that war in the 1800s. It was called the Civil War, and says nobody gets a slave. But today, this man is a slave, and he's running. He's on a run, and we have to start building that underground railroad. That's what they're saying. They're afraid that he's on the run and he's going to get away. So if you see this man, offer him some relief and offer him a place to stay, and offer him the dignity he deserves as a man. And we'll stop that. And and we'll go back to and stop sharing right now. And you can see my pretty face. Hello, man. Hello, man. Let me do a profile without beard. I was thinking today, thinking hard. Summer's coming. Oh yeah. Hello, Mgtow Vet. Hello, Mgtow. Hello, Papa Mgtow. Everybody. Dear God, sorry. Hey, Metal. Hey, everybody that's coming in. But today we have a man on the run, and he needs some help. He needs some assistance. And that's what Mgtow's about, and that was Mgtow today is for. It's for assisting these men that are they're going galt. That was out of the Miami Herald. Now I'll put into sorry about that. I'm not really gonna shave. I might do that someday on TV, shave it off, and like for my next $10,000 donation, I will shave my beard. I know I'm not Howard Dare. No, I will not do that. No man today is in the official position, and every man today in an official position, he will notice his slightest actions are immediately start a stream of files, memos, reports, and public releases on him, like this man above here. And I click on that in the Miami Herald. Hitler's great ambition was found by this millennial empire that he had fear, and his greatest fear was losing in defeat. With that, we got a lot of there was a lot of trials after that. There was a lot of things that happened. But with that, Hitler made such a he made such a
new message is received from +1 615 667 8657.
Thank you, Siri. Yeah, he made such a mess of bureaucratic files that he will go down in history, and that's what it was about. They didn't want to be unremembered in the centuries to come. Red tape was simple, and it was necessary. It was forced by the Nazis and organized methods at that time. It was something they enthusiastically welcomed, just like we see today. The bureaucracy, the press, it will be duplicated, it will be copied. There will be 10 copies put down all over the United States, and every one of the things picked up this story. His face will be plastered over there. He's a Jew on the run. He's a Nazi. They're calling him all sorts of names, but he's a father, and he's sick of paying $500-some thousand. He will be recorded. It will be, all their atrocities will be recorded, and that's for one reason, so they'll be remembered in future histories. That's what Hitler did. They enthusiastically welcomed the bureaucracy of everything. Hannah Arendt did a book about this thing. It was called Eichmenn in Jerusalem. Lawyers and judges and workers of iniquity are the true criminals. We often we point at the feminism. We say, there's the dragon. We point at the SJW and say, there's the dragon. And what I wanted to talk about is the workers of iniquity underneath all this thing, with all these things we see, with all these documents, with all these tags, with all these with these documenting the history of the world as it goes on. Everywhere you look on the internet, it's written down in books, and there's papers tenfold. Everything gets printed and documented, and everything we do, and they like it that way. The judges, the lawyers, the inquisitors are the workers of workers of iniquity. Hannah Ardant had a different view of what was going on, and when Eichmann was being tried, she said, "Well, you caught Eichmann," she said, and Eichmann was true evil. He was what he was. He was a true hater, and but she said, but look at the 20,000 little. Look at the 20,000 little secretaries, and most of them, and a lot of them were little Jewish secretary girls that worked for Eichmann. There was 20,000 or 22,000 of them. I can't remember. They got out those pamphlets. They made double copies of everything. They sent people to their deaths. They sent people to their deaths. Everything that came across their death was stamped and marked and dated. Them are the true evil workers of iniquity. Today we can look around at the true criminals in our society, the men and the judges and the white knights and the simps and the media. Who is the workers of iniquity today? Where is Eichmann? Where is our Eichmann? Our Eichmann is just feminism. We're still throwing spears off into the woods, trying to hit an imaginary beast. The slave recovery people are out there. They want to bring you back into the system. They want to stamp your name down there. They want to make 10 copies, put it in a file, make sure nobody ever forgets that you were that man. You were that evil man. 20 years later, they will have 10 copies stamped down there at HHS. They'll have hundreds of documents compiled on you. They are the true workers of iniquity. The judges, the lawyers, the little secretaries. That's what Hannah Ardant said was the banality of evil. That's who she was pointing at when she wrote the book, Eichmann in Jerusalem, when she wrote her book about the human condition. She was pointing at the workers of iniquity and saying, look at yourself. Look at yourself. Today we have the same problem. Today we have the same problem. You can look at that article in the Miami Herald about that man's face, put up there, copies, 10 stamped. Find him, they're saying. Slave recovery agents, go out there and find him. He needs to come back and pay his debt to society. He needs to come back. That's what they're saying. They're saying, I don't care that he may be dead. They don't care that he was utility, that he may be dead. His body's missing. He may have drowned. They never asked that question. There was never no empathy for him. There was never no empathy for him. The workers of iniquity do not care. You are a number. And he will have his face painted up there, and they will search for him. And the slave recovery agents will try to find him and drag him back if he's out there. I had one come to my house once, the slave recovery agent, and she said to me, she said, I'm just making sure you're not living too well. The chicken head right in front of me. I'm just making sure you're not living too well. She spoke those words to me. And at that moment, I wanted to take this and lay it in her skull. I was mad. I was angry. I was rageful. They wanted to make sure I was not living well. Like I said, if you're not outraged, if you can look around here in Mgtow and you can look around at some of these stories and you're not outraged and it doesn't anger you, you're heartless and you're simply a regular normie human that needs to go out there and work for the slave recovery people. But I think when I see these articles, most of all, I start contriving, I start putting numbers together, I start looking at the way things should be. One Mgtow should go down to the Miami Herald and find that editor, take a picture of him, write down his name. We could put it in a file and say, these are the slavery. For after the war happens here, we're going to want to know each and every one of them. We're going to want to know their names and say to them, yeah, we're watching you now. Because one thing for sure and two for certain, there is no slavery in the United States. We fought that war already. The punishment for slavery is death. There is no debtor's prison. And the punishment for that should be imprisonment. But today's modern day slavery resembles the slavery of the past. They will send their slave recovery agents out to try to find him, to make sure his life sucks, to make sure he is not living good, to make sure he is not eating well. Oh yeah, they will come around and make sure you are being punished for your ritual mating violations. A barbaric crime in the eyes of society, which really isn't a crime. It's just a policy that was given to us by the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment. And in our Constitution, it says no slavery and no man will be slaved. And it says no debtor's prison. It says you have the right to speak what you want to say. Followed up by 2 that says if these rights are violated, you have the right to bear arms. It goes perfectly in order. It's a harsh warning to these people. But even with that, in this country, in this day and age, they will send slave recovery agents out for one of their workers. And the workers of iniquity, the same as Hannah Ardant was saying, the true banality of evil, the true evil people, them little workers, the social service workers, the lawyers, the judges, the person that stamped that paper and it just went across their desk, the lighter than air jobs. They all said the same thing as Eichmann. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing my job. And they know they're doing the jobs of evil. And it makes me angry. And it makes me mad. And it makes me think how I love the crow Mgtow. It reaffirms my belief that we have to smash this thing out of existence. I'm just doing my job. I followed orders. That's what Eichmann said. That's what every one of those 20,000 little workers under him did. They pushed the papers. They stamped it. They tagged it. They made copies, duplicated in tens. They immortalized themselves, and not a single one of those people hung like Eichmann did. All they did with Eichmann was relieve the workers of iniquity of their crimes when they hung them. And that's what Hannah Ardant was saying. No, you don't hang him. You find all of them, every single one of them, every single one of those workers. Your job is not done. When we had our Civil War, our job is not done. It may take a long time. It may come with sudden violence, because that seems to be the only thing they understand. Go look at that article. Go look at that article in the Miami Herald. I got it in the low bar down there. Click on it. He may be dead, His body may be floating out there in the ocean. He has a family and friends and people that love him. He's a man. He's successful. He's handsome. All that does not matter. All they want is their money. All they want is their money. That's all they can see. They stamped the stamp. They pushed it through. Somebody went down there to somebody in the local news went down to the office and violated his rights and looked in his files, and they shared that with the news. Are these people evil? Yes, they are. Are they the slave recovery people? Yes, they are. Are they the same people as the little secretaries and the workers that were working under Eichmann? Yes, they are. They're the same type of people. We thought we exterminated them from this planet. There must be a way to identify them. Yes, identify them. Every Mgtow should be taking pictures, marking down the names, the names on your divorce certificates, and your certificates of slavery. You take those names down and you make sure they get kept safely with a picture of the judge and the lawyer that put you into slavery and that face of that woman that expected your slavery. So someday when this thing ends, when we finish this, we have their names and we know the workers of iniquity. I know it's the Jewish way of doing things. That's what the Jews did. They took the names, they took the pictures of each one of those people, and they said, these are the people we're looking for. Relentlessly. We live in that kind of society today. Everybody's just doing their job, man. I'm just doing my job. Leave me alone. But they are the workers of iniquity. They're just doing their jobs. There are no laws. They're mating ritual laws. A man is on the run. Most likely he is on the run, and his family is protecting him from the same evil that wants to destroy his life. But he may be floating out there in the ocean, just a pussy body filled with water now, and nobody cares. And the ex-baby mama will bemoan. Oh, she'll bemoan. I don't have my boo-hoo. I don't have my slave anymore. Boo-hoo. He's not taking care of me like a dependent anymore. And the real victims will be the children. And the state will mark up, they'll mark up it as a loss. And they'll say we lost a slave. Damn. But each and every one of you people in here know why we have to grow our masses, why Mgtow must grow. We must grow. We must work at that. Or else this sort of thing will never happen, and your son's son will have to deal with the same thing. He will be looked at as a utility, a slave. And we must end the slavery by any means possible. Any means. And you can tell I'm heated today. Ooh, I dropped my cigarette. Yes, I'm heated today. I'm fighting mad. But I wish that the MRA and Mgtow and some of those other men would find a little of that man balls that they talk about and get fighting mad on this thing. Because that's what's going to take. Because when they come to put you back in slavery, put you back on the farm, they ain't going to do it nicely. They'll do it with guns and sheriffs and thugs. And they'll do it regardless of a constitution that says it shouldn't happen. Regardless of our constitution, they'll do it. And that's my subject for today, Mgtows. I know. How else do you say these things? Do you say these things lights-heartedly? Like, hello, Mgtows. I got a story about a slave. Let me dance a little here for you like a monkey. No, I don't say things like that. I'm not the happy Mgtow. Ooh. So that's my video for today, and I know it's a rough subject. Go take a look at that. Go look at what they think of men. They want you back on the farm. They want you as a slave. There will be no escape, they're saying. The workers of iniquity continue to do what they do, and they don't fear being caught. And they should fear being caught. And Mgtow needs to start taking down names, pictures, faces, numbers. That way, when this thing goes critical mass, which I'm sure it will, it has to, maybe not in my lifetime, we'll have the names and the faces of the true evil, the true banality of evil behind this. Every day I see a story like this. Every day it inflames me. Every day I hear about a man being put in slavery, from people in my neighborhood to, people I read about in the news. I look at how they're treated. Just go back to work. Get 2 jobs, they'll say. Just go back to work. Get 2 jobs, they'll say. Well, they're pushing their lighter than air work and stamping their stamps and enjoying the moat and the cake in the lunchroom with a cup of coffee that was purchased by you. While our bridges are collapsing, while the men will still continue to walk away every single day. And we need more of it. We need a lot more of it, Mgtow. We got to get busy around here. We have to stop worrying about the detractors and stop worrying about whether they're mad at us. They're going to be mad at us. And we have to say it strong, and we have to say it stern, like men. No more of the female voice. We've seen the horrible results of Karen and all the girls trying to do the Mgtow in the female voice. No, it doesn't work. You have to do it strongly in the male voice. And that's what we said from the beginning. When we were told, oh, you guys, you Mgtows are just mad. Yeah, we're outraged. And we have every reason to be outraged. Someday, Mgtow will be everywhere. We'll be in your churches, your schools, your police departments, your political organizations. We'll be in your businesses, your shops. We'll be your neighbors. We'll be your teachers. And that's a promise. Then you'll truly have to deal with us. We're teaching every boy now. We're giving them red pills. Don't ever get shamed out of doing that. It's needed. And with that, I think I'm going to close this down. Say, have a great day, Mgtows, and like every day, thanks for coming around and thanks for being Mgtow, because without you, there wouldn't be a Mgtow. And for every one Mgtow that shares the word to 10 Mgtows, he'll share the word to 10 Mgtows and 10 Mgtows after that. And the small drop in the bucket that you thought you were, that you couldn't influence anything, will become the creek, that becomes the stream, that becomes the river, that becomes the lake, that becomes the ocean. And we will be the ocean. All of us together. And that's how we're going to win this thing. Thanks a lot, Nuclear Redfield. Thanks a lot, Mgtow Vet 67, Orange Partisan, Mgtowica, Metal, Savage Reality, Mgtow Warrior, Jeff Burns, Zealous Mathematician, Metal. Thanks a lot, Joey, and thanks about RP, and John Kramer, and Staying Free Mgtow, and thanks about Mgtow Capone for making videos and becoming a part of this thing. Thanks a lot, everybody. Savage Reality. I watched a video, Riff Mangoes. Papa Mgtow. Get out there. Nuclear Redfield. Yeah, we all got to get out there. Try to find them 10 men. 10 men. That's our goal this year. Find 10 men. Each one of us find 10 men to share the message with. Matter of fact, you can do that in a month. You can do that in a month and share the message, and those 10 men should find 10 men. That's all we have to do. Share it. Give back what was freely given to you. That's all we ask. And thanks a lot for coming around. Thanks a lot for being Mgtow. Thanks a lot for sharing the message. And most of all, thanks a lot for being Mgtow, you Mgtows.